Other news now, a referendum on the Common Core. It's been a polarizing subject for parents, students, and teachers. Opponents to the tough new mandated curriculum have been vocal in their opposition. Today, some lawmakers felt the pressure with a vote to change education leadership in New York. Matt Markham spent the day at the state capitol getting reaction from your lawmakers. He joins us now from the Albany newsroom with what went down today. Matt.
Good evening, Greg. Some parents have told us their kids are literally sick at the thought of going to school after the new standards began to hit the books, and they've been telling their elected members, and they voted today on the fate of 4 members of the Board of Regents who set education policy.
I don't believe that rewarding poor performance is the way to go. They've had their chance. I think they badly mishandled it.
There's no such thing as a reward in this business. These are all well-educated, well-intentioned individuals.
The classroom took center stage in the assembly chambers. Members of both houses of the legislature were bound by a common core to make a change in education, though 3 members of the Board of Regents up for re-election stayed on.
I can't blame it solely on those 4 members up this year.
The tough new learning standards have been given a poor grade for being handed out too quickly and placing too much emphasis on standardized testing. At the top of the board, defense for the lesson plan.
We would be remiss to back away from trying to move this ball down the field. It would contribute greatly to the decline of our country.
One regent up for re-election withdrew his bid. His replacement, a Sullivan County village justice. Do you agree that the Common Core was kind of implemented, or at least parts of it implemented too quickly?
I've been looking at that, and I'm going to form some conclusions when I have more evidence. I don't want to start talking about things that I haven't fully investigated.
The evidence shows some lawmakers that the focus should continue to shine on less testing, more resources for teachers, and secure and private data collection from students.
I hope it's a message to those regents that are in place still. We need some real change in this Common Core implementation. We need to step back, take the time to get it right.
Well, Chancellor Tisch went further to say that anyone who has questions about the actions of the Board of Regents should go to a meeting and realize that an open conversation is part of the whole process, Greg.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Gun rights advocates are calling on Massachusetts lawmakers to approve a bill that would treat anyone who shows a fake gun during a violent crime the same as someone with an actual weapon. The Gun Owners Action League says the state needs a law after the group says there's been a rise in police-involved shootings of suspects with fake guns. This weekend, investigators say an officer shot a man who pointed a pellet gun at him. That suspect is now facing assault charges. And that brings us to tonight's CBS6Albany.com web poll. We're asking you if criminals using fake guns during violent crimes should face the same charges as those who use real guns. We'll have the results of the web poll coming up at 6:30.
To politics now, and the end is near. Donald Trump says he'll decide by the end of the week whether he'll run for governor. Trump told our political analyst Fred Dicker on Fred's radio show today that GOP committee chairmen have been calling him nonstop to find out what he plans to do. And Trump repeated to Fred that he would not get in the race if he were to face a primary. Rob Astorino has already announced his candidacy.
It's got to be clear sailing only because you have to attack the villain. And the villain isn't necessarily the guy that's running, against. The villain are the people that are running the show right now because there are so many mistakes being made and because taxes are so high.